Hello, mere pyare bachcho, and welcome back. So, exams are just around the corner, I know. And this chapter, Globalization, it might seem a little big, right? But bilkul chinta mat karo. By the end of this short explainer, you'll see how simple it is. We're going to make sure you get full marks on this one.
Okay, let's just jump right in. I want you to think about some everyday things. The pizza you ordered last night, the phone you're probably watching this on, your favorite pair of jeans. They all seem so different, but there's one single idea that connects every single one of them. Any guesses? Come on, you know this. Yep, that's it. The answer is globalization.
To really get what this means, let's look at the three stories right from your textbook. First, there's Janardhan. He has to become John at a call center just to talk to American customers. Then there's Ramdari, who's able to buy his daughter a really affordable cycle that was made in China. And finally, there's Sarika, a first-generation learner who gets a job opportunity that the women in her family could never even dream of. See? All three of their lives are being shaped by globalization.
So, keeping those stories in mind, let's ask the big question. What is globalization, Yar? Let's nail down a simple, exam-friendly definition that you can just write down and remember.
Okay, the most important word you have to remember is this: flows. Seriously, this word is the key. Globalization is all about these flows. It's basically the worldwide interconnectedness that happens when stuff, all kinds of stuff, moves from one country to another. Simple, right? Now, what exactly are these flows?
So there are four main types of flows you need to know. First, the flow of ideas. This could be a big idea like democracy, or something as simple as the latest Instagram trend that just goes viral everywhere. Second, there's capital. That's just a fancy word for money moving around for investment. Third, you have commodities, which are basically goods, like Ramdari's cycle. And last but not least, the flow of people, moving to other countries for a new job or a better life. But hold on a second. You might be thinking people and goods have been moving for thousands of years, right? So what's so special now? Why has everything become so incredibly fast all of a sudden?
Well, the single biggest game changer, bachcho, is technology. Things like the telegraph, the telephone, and especially the invention of the microchip, they just completely revolutionized everything. Communication became instant, and that is the key difference. Today's globalization is totally unique because of the massive scale and the unbelievable speed of these flows, and it's all thanks to technology.
All right, now we're getting to a really important part for your exams, the consequences of globalization. This is a classic 3 or 5 mark question, so you'll want to pay close attention here. We're going to look at the political, the economic, and the cultural effects. Let's kick things off with the political side. In the old days, many countries were what we call a welfare state. The government took care of almost everything: health, education, you name it. But globalization has kind of pushed many countries towards being a minimalist state. Now the market has a much bigger say, and the government mostly sticks to core things like law and order. Plus, you have these huge multinational companies, MNCs, that can sometimes have more power than governments over their own economies. But wait, it's not so simple. For your exams, it's really important to show both sides of the coin. The state hasn't just become weak. Oh no, when it comes to things like national security, the state is still incredibly powerful. And here's the paradox. The very same technology that's driving globalization, well, it also gives the state powerful new tools to collect information on all of us, its citizens, which actually makes it even more powerful in some ways.
Now, let's talk about the economic side and the human cost. Just listen to this quote. It's from your textbook. It's what someone working in a call center in India might hear. Imagine hearing that every single day. It really shows you the personal and sometimes pretty painful side of economic globalization, where jobs are just shifted all around the world.
You see, a huge part of economic globalization is about these MNCs entering new markets. And on top of that, you have these really powerful international institutions like the IMF and the World Trade Organization, or WTO. They play a massive role in shaping the economic policies of countries, which, creates a mix of both big opportunities and some really tough challenges.
Okay, now for the fun part, the cultural effects. This stuff is fascinating. So on one side, there's this fear of something called cultural homogenization. It's a big word, I know, but it just means everything starts to look the same, kind of like a McDonaldization of the whole world. But on the other side, we see something called cultural heterogenization, which is where different cultures mix together to create something brand new and totally unique.
I mean, think about it.
Does eating a burger mean you stop loving your masala dosa? No way. It just adds one more tasty option to your life. Or what about wearing a traditional khadi kurta over a pair of American blue jeans? That's a perfect mix. This is exactly what cultural heterogenization is. We aren't just copying things, we're taking something from outside and making it totally our own.
Right, let's bring our focus back home now. How has all this affected our India? This is a super, super important topic for your board exams, so let's get into it.
So, after we got independence in 1947, India followed a policy called protectionism. We basically wanted to protect all our local industries, so we put limits on imports and said, hey, we'll make things ourselves. The problem was, this led to really slow economic growth. Then came the big turning point, 1991. We were facing a financial crisis, and so India started its new economic reforms, opening up our entire economy to the world.
Okay, pop quiz time. Let's do a quick exam question to see if you've been paying attention. Which of these statements is true about globalization? Is it A, it's purely an economic phenomenon, B, it began in 1991, C, it's the same thing as Westernization, or D, it is a multi-dimensional phenomenon? Take a second, think about it.
And the correct answer is D. Of course it is. Excellent work. Please, please remember this, Butcho. Globalization is not just about money. It's multidimensional. It affects our politics, our economy, and our culture. This is a crucial point to make in your answers. So, is everyone happy with globalization? Well, absolutely not. Not even close. There has been a lot of criticism, a lot of resistance, and a lot of protests against it both here in India and all across the world.
Here in India, this resistance comes from different places. You have people on the political left, like trade unions and farmers' groups. They argue that globalization just makes the rich even richer and the poor even poorer. And then you have people from the political right. They worry more about losing our traditional culture, protesting against things like foreign TV channels or even celebrating Valentine's Day.
And here's a really interesting twist. The resistance against globalization has itself become global. There's this thing called the World Social Forum, or WSF. It's a huge global platform for activists who are all against what they call neoliberal globalization. And the irony is, they use the very same global networks and technology to connect with each other and organize their protests. Pretty wild, right?
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. There's no doubt globalization has made our world feel a lot smaller, more connected. But is it also shrinking the beautiful diversity of our cultures and making everything the same? Or is it actually creating new, exciting mixtures we've never seen before? It's a big question, and there's no easy answer. And that is a wrap on globalization. See? Not so bad after all. Just remember the key ideas. It's all about the flows. It's driven by technology, and it has political, economic, and cultural consequences. Just go over your notes one more time, and I know you will do wonderfully. All the very, very best for your exams, Mier Bachon. You've totally got this.